What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video, and we have a brilliant packed video today because we have major updates on Nico Williams, Anthony Gordon and Sepp van den Berg, because Liverpool received a bid for Sepp van den Berg from PSV Eindhoven. So let me know in the comments below, do you want Liverpool to sign Anthony Gordon? Do you want Liverpool to sell Sepp van den Berg and maybe bring in a better ball playing centre back, which is hard to come by in today's market? So if you enjoy these videos, leave a like. If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you never miss the latest updates around Liverpool FC, which I post daily. So Nico Williams' transfer decision could set off a chain reaction, and that could push Liverpool to revive their interest in Anthony Gordon, because the bombshell dropped that Nico Williams decided to remain at Athletic Bilbao for next season, or this season that is just about to start. And this decision could have far-fetching consequences in the transfer market. Nico Williams was of interest to Liverpool and Barcelona. Both clubs wanted to buy Nico Williams, and there were even reports that Nico Williams agreed personal terms with Barcelona, but now it looks like Nico Williams will stay at Bilbao because he actually earns a very good salary there, and Barcelona were struggling to afford both Nico Williams' transfer fee and salary. Bilbao only signed Basque players, so they can spend a lot of their money not on transfer fees but on player wages. So Nico Williams was already earning like £300,000 per week at Bilbao, and he's playing with his brother Inaki Williams, and Bilbao is his home. They just won their first Copa del Rey, their first Spanish Cup in like 40 years. So I can understand, and he's still very young. He could move to Barcelona or Liverpool in the next 2, 3, 4 years. And apparently Barcelona were desperate to sign Nico Williams to pair him up with Lamine Yamal. We saw already what a devastating duo they were for Spain in the Euros. They were instrumental in Spain winning the Euros deservedly. But now it looks like Barcelona are trying to sign Dani Olmo, and due to the fact that Barcelona are one of the biggest clubs in the world, of course lots of players are linked with them, and one rumor which was persistent is Luis Diaz. Dani Olmo is more of a midfielder, and Barcelona are still exploring their options, and Luis Diaz's father has openly admitted that they would love to play, they would love to live in Barcelona. Luis Diaz would love to play for Barcelona. This didn't come from Luis Diaz himself, but I'm sure there were conversations inside their family of one day going to Spain and playing for one of the Spanish giants, Barcelona, Real Madrid. These South American players absolutely idolize Barcelona and Real Madrid, and I can understand why. You know, a lot of South American footballers played for either Real Madrid or Barcelona. The list is so long, so they are absolutely huge, these two clubs in South America. And there have been plenty of reports from both parties, with Diaz's father even suggesting it was a dream for Luis Diaz to play for Barcelona. No official bid has come Liverpool's way, but now that this Nico Williams deal to Barcelona is off, we can kind of expect either Barcelona or Paris Saint-Germain to come in for Luis Diaz. And that's why I think Liverpool can still revive their interest in Anthony Gordon, because if Barcelona were willing to sign Nico Williams for a big transfer fee, then that transfer fee should be available for the Luis Diaz transfer. And this is why the Anthony Gordon deal might be back on the table, because Anthony Gordon is the number one choice from Liverpool's point of view to replace Luis Diaz in case Luis Diaz leaves. And I don't think that would be a pretty terrible swap, to be honest, because Luis Diaz is 27 years old and he's pretty much same level of player as Anthony Gordon right now. You also have to factor in that Liverpool are a lot more dominant than Newcastle. They create quite a lot more chances. So Luis Diaz had the most minutes out of all 5 Liverpool attackers. So out of Darwin Núñez, Diogo Jota, Mo Salah, Cody Gakpo and Luis Diaz. These 5 players are brilliant, but Luis Diaz had the most minutes, and yet he scored the least amount of goals and he got the least amount of goal contributions, so goals and assists combined. So if Liverpool were to sell one of their attackers, it could be Luis Diaz. And if Barcelona won't come in for him, and apparently Paris Saint-Germain are also interested in Luis Diaz, then Liverpool will listen to offers. That has been the stance of the journalists, and if Barcelona offer enough money, so 60, 70 million, then Liverpool could accept that offer, and then we could go for Anthony Gordon. Because Anthony Gordon, when he heard that Newcastle are thinking about selling him, and it was actually Newcastle going to Liverpool asking them, do you want Anthony Gordon? Because they were in massive trouble to comply with the profit and sustainability rules. They had to sell players to comply with the rules before July the 1st, but then they sold two players, Jakuba Minte to Brighton and Elliot Anderson to, I think, Nottingham Forest, if I remember correctly. So in the end, they got just about enough money to comply with the rules, but Anthony Gordon's head was stirred. Anthony Gordon was a Liverpool fan growing up, even though he ended up playing for Everton. The way he left Everton, putting in a transfer request, the fans hated him and they booed him at every opportunity when he played against Everton. He doesn't have a good relationship with Everton anymore, and he openly said that Anfield is his favourite stadium and Anfield is the best stadium in the Premier League, and Steven Gerrard was his idol growing up. So Anthony Gordon would love to play for Liverpool, and if Luis Diaz is sold, then Liverpool could come in for Anthony Gordon. But Liverpool have to wait for a Luis Diaz bid to arrive, because until a serious bid arrives, these are all hypothetical scenarios. But should an offer come in, then Liverpool will go for Anthony Gordon straight after we sold Luis Diaz. Cody Gakpo, it looks like, will be a prominent option off the left wing, and I want Cody Gakpo to mainly play on the left wing. I want Darwin Núñez and Diogo Jota to play up front, rotating. Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo should play on the left wing, rotating as well, and Mo Salah doesn't really have a rotation option. Ben Doak can play there, Harvey Elliott can play there, but Ben Doak is very young and Harvey Elliott doesn't have the pace or the physicality to play right wing against the left backs of the Premier League. I really like Anthony Gordon. I think he's an absolutely electric, absolutely fantastic player, and he's 4 years younger than Luis Diaz. So as I said, it wouldn't be the worst case scenario if Liverpool lost Luis Diaz and bought with a similar amount of money, maybe add another 10 million on what Barcelona pays for Luis Diaz and we sign Anthony Gordon. That wouldn't be the worst case scenario in my opinion. And Fabrizio Romano yesterday broke the news just after I made the video that PSV Eindhoven have sent a formal bid to Liverpool for Sepp van den Berg, and it was at the end of last week, and that was worth around 10 million euros, which is around 7 or 8 million pounds, which is an absolute joke, to be honest. That's way lower than what Liverpool would even consider accepting. Liverpool have immediately rejected the proposal because it's a ridiculously low offer. They should double it. They should spend 20 million euros. I think that is the ballpark of where Liverpool would accept a deal. Liverpool wants 20 million pounds for Sepp van den Berg, but I don't think anybody will pay that. And maybe Sepp van den Berg would like to return to the Bundesliga, to play in the Bundesliga. But you know, PSV Eindhoven, Sepp van den Berg is Dutch, so he would come home to one of the biggest Dutch clubs, and if he has a good couple of seasons there, then he could get picked up by a bigger European team. But yeah, 8.5 million pounds is way lower than what Liverpool want for Sepp van den Berg. But this is a good sign, because now clubs know that Sepp van den Berg is available and he is basically for sale, and if Liverpool get a big enough bid, then Sepp van den Berg will be sold. At the moment, Sepp van den Berg is happy at Liverpool because he's playing games in the preseason tour, but he's playing games in the preseason tour because Van Dijk, Konate and Gomez are still not back from their holidays. They will be back when Liverpool arrive back to Liverpool. There is no point for them to jet off to USA just to play one game. It's better for them to avoid all that traveling and to come back well rested and ready to go for the preseason at the end of the USA tour. The problem with PSV doubling that offer is that the Dutch clubs don't have as much money as, for example, the Bundesliga clubs. PSV will struggle to pay a lot more than 10 million euros. Maybe 15 million is the maximum that they can go for. And according to James Spears, Sepp van den Berg is not desperate to leave Liverpool. He just wants to play regularly this season, wherever he goes. So if he stays at Liverpool, he wants guarantees that he will get regular game time. But that will depend on injuries, Sepp van den Berg is a solid option. He's better than Nat Phillips or other players, but he's not better than Kwanzaa, he's not better than Konate, he's not better than Van Dijk. And I'm not sure if Joe Gomez will play right back, left back or centre back, because we have seen Joe Gomez in a lot of roles. He even played the defensive midfield last season. And Sepp van den Berg said, now I have done 1.5 years in the Championship, another 2 years in the Bundesliga. I'm still young, but I feel very old. It's all about game time and experience, and I've gained that in recent years. If I can get game time at Liverpool, then there is no better place to be, with the fans, the club and the environment. The quality in training is so good here, but my goal is to play football next year, so we will see if that is here or somewhere else. And David Lynch, a very reliable Liverpool-based journalist, said, I thought Sepp van den Berg did really well against Real Betis. There were some aspects of his game that might need some work, and we will talk about Sepp van den Berg's tactical analysis a little bit later in this video. And he said that he has limitations, especially concerning comfort on the ball, and his ball carrying abilities are way behind Kwanzaa. I don't think Sepp van den Berg will be ever mega comfortable on the ball, David Lynch continued. And again, we saw that in the Bundesliga. Are there going to be enough minutes at Liverpool for him to be truly happy? I'm not entirely sure. Liverpool would have to get injuries, because when Konate or Van Dijk needs resting, Kwanzaa will step in. So we already will rotate those three defenders. Maybe even Gomez will play centre back. We don't know whether Arne Slot sees Gomez as mainly a backup right back to Trent, but that's Conor Bradley. The backup left back is Tsimikas, so Gomez probably will play centre back, and he will be third or fourth choice centre back. So where will Sepp van den Berg get minutes from? But long term, Liverpool will want to get a centre back who is way more comfortable on the ball than Sepp van den Berg. And this is a pivotal moment in Sepp van den Berg's career, because he needs minutes. Now he's not just a young prospect anymore. He's now a fully experienced Bundesliga centre-back, Bundesliga level centre-back, but is he on the level of a title challenging Premier League side? No, nowhere near. He is good enough for fourth or fifth choice, but he wants to play more regularly. So that's why I think Liverpool are listening to offers for Sepp van den Berg. And he would be probably a lot more comfortable in a team like West Ham, who defend in a low block and they don't play in such a high line, and the centre backs don't have to be so good on the ball, they don't have to progress the ball so much. And as you can see with Sepp van den Berg's charts, compared to other centre backs, he was one of the best in terms of attacking and defensive aerial duels, defensive work rate, recoveries and box involvement. But in terms of carries and possession involvement, verticality, he's lacking. And the reason why Kwanzaa will make it at Liverpool is that he is so much better than Sepp van den Berg or Brandtwijf of Everton on the ball. Sepp van den Berg's usefulness in the final third comes from set pieces. He's a threat from the air. He's absolutely superb as an attacking threat, but he does not shine as a centre-back that helps you keep the ball, play through pressure, progress the ball up the pitch, play vertically into the forwards or carry you up the pitch. When elite possession teams are looking for centre-backs, they want them to break the lines with carrying the ball. Like Joao Matip or Virgil van Dijk, they take the ball and they progress it into the opposition half. Kwanzaa actually does both as well, carrying the ball and passing the ball well. If you aren't doing those things, then you are looking at clubs that want centre-backs mainly for their defensive merits alone. Some clubs that challenge for trophies still do so, but you are being excluded from many of the top teams. But that isn't to say that Sepp van den Berg can't be a really good strength in depth option for Liverpool. If Sepp van den Berg plays, or if he comes on as a substitute, you absolutely have no need to worry about his defensive capabilities. But unlike Kwanzaa, Van Dijk, Konate or even Matip, he lacks that thing to his game to push him onto that label of a guy who can build a possession team around level. He's a young guy and he can still be coached and maybe get better. Maybe Mainz also don't want their centre-backs to carry the ball forward, and I can understand why, because they were fighting against relegation last season in the Bundesliga. So Sepp van den Berg was defending in a low block, defensively set up Mainz team. They weren't dominant in most of their games. And also maybe it's worth keeping Sepp van den Berg around for one season to see how Arne Slot can improve him with coaching. But Sepp van den Berg will be unhappy not playing enough games, because Konate, Van Dijk and Kwanzaa will be ahead of him in the pecking order. And even Joe Gomez is a better centre-back, a lot more experienced, quite a few years older as well. The problem is Liverpool are always going to prefer and bet on a player who has already proven that he can do this ball carrying and passing the ball and carrying the ball forward into the opposition half. Kwanzaa has already proven that he can do that. Even at Bristol Rovers on loan 2 seasons ago, he was carrying the ball forward and passing the ball very, very well. And at Liverpool, straight away he showed that he can play Premier League football. Kwanzaa played more than 20 games last season and he played pretty well, apart from 1 or 2 big mistakes which you can expect from a young centre-back to make at the Premier League level. He was already better than Sepp van den Berg. He was even better than Lenny Yoro or Hussein, 2 players that Liverpool have been linked with in this transfer window. And Man United paid a huge amount of money for Lenny Yoro and huge wages, £150,000 per week, in the hope that Lenny Yoro will one day become a great centre-back. Right now he isn't a great centre-back, he's just a young prospect. Already Kwanzaa has proven that he's a great centre-back and he has a lot of experience to even gain and a lot of years to get better. And the reason why Man United are struggling to sign some players, they signed already a few players, but the reason why they are struggling to sign some players is they struggle to move on some players. But when you see Casemiro on £350,000 per week, Jadon Sancho on £250,000 per week, Harry Maguire on the fridge on £190,000 per week, it blows my mind how Man United are giving these huge wages out and then they are surprised that they can't move on these players. I mean, who on earth would pay Maguire anywhere near his £190,000 per week salary? Of course, West Ham wanted to sign him last summer. But Maguire isn't going to West Ham to get like 30% or 40% of his salary. He's happy to sit on the bench most weeks and collect a huge amount of money. Like he is almost earning £1 million a month. If you add up his wages, absolutely crazy for a Harry Maguire level player. But yeah, don't want to rant too much on Man United, but Liverpool don't give out these crazy wages to young players for a reason. So yeah, that's my video for today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I'm editing a new career mode episode, so I will upload it as soon as it's ready. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.